Hi everyone, Emily here from Emily's Visions. It's been a long while since I've recorded something because mainly my entire rhythm was knocked off by COVID and lockdown, all the stress that surrounds those things. My retreat is going well. As I said in my previous video, using a retreat with counters, that's helped to keep me sort of level-headed and focused on my practice, what makes me feel good during this time. So my energy is quite sustainable, but on a low level. So I just wanted to talk today about something that's been on my mind for a while, which is the fact that in reality, we've kind of been dealing with an emergency situation, and sometimes I've found it difficult over this year seeing people dealing with an emergency situation, but not allowing themselves to be in an emergency mode. Which I think is very important, because if we are going to cope long term with something that is stressful, we need to acknowledge what's actually going on for us. And some of those truths aren't that pretty, so we need to, but we still need to look at it to take care of ourselves. So I wanted to explore who we are when we're stressed. Who we are when we're stressed. Because I think if we have long-term stress, we can actually be kind of a different person during that time. And I think most people would agree that we have maybe a lower immune system because of stress, or a lower not being able to think about things clearly because we're stressed. And that can change everything. It can change our relationships, it can change the rhythm of our life, all sorts of things that are actually temporary difficulties because they're just related to the stress. So obviously the solution is to de-stress. Very important, finding ways to pamper ourselves, self-care, look after ourselves, or remove the stress completely so that the problem doesn't exist. And so there's the end of a problem. But when we have something like COVID, it's going on for a long time, and really we're all going to be stressed and confused until we have won this war against COVID, because it's something that's affecting everyone. It reminded me of, while I was thinking of it, a character in Lost, the TV series, where the characters have an aeroplane crash on an island. And I remember there's one scene, it's quite funny, where people are trying to figure out how they can communicate what they have been feeling and going through to people who haven't had the experience. And the doctor is like he's always on top of everything, he thinks he's on top of everything, he's just desperately to be on top of everything. So he's telling everybody what to say and what to do and how it will all work, so that, because he's assuming a care responsibility. And he says it's okay if you get confused, it's okay, they'll just think we're in shock. And one of the other characters says, we are in shock, Jack. and I think that sort of sums up how I feel now, having dealt with COVID being a heavy reality for living beings all over this planet for months and months and months. I really want people to be able to think, I am in shock, and be able, and I think what we can do, if we accept that, is we can actually start to be kind to ourselves, because until we are recovered, things are going to be difficult. I think it's easier for me to spot this because I've had so many seizures in my life, and when I have a seizure, it's like my whole brain shuts down. From my perspective, I'm watching it shut down. I don't have grand mal, so I don't fall over, and I don't lose consciousness most often. I'm very aware of the process of what's going on, which is scary. But it means that I've had quite a lot of practice in dealing with coping with states where I don't know who I am. coping with states where, for example, I don't know where I am, or what to do next. So having to bring everything down to the basics. Am I safe? What does one do in this situation? And also, after a seizure, I'm very tired. Sometimes it can take me a week to recover. So I have more practice, therefore, in dealing with accepting myself as someone who's recovering from a seizure. So then if people make demands on me, which people constantly do, especially if they are stressed, then they make more demands. And I have to be able to think to myself, no, I'm recovering from a seizure right now. I can't do A, B, C or D. Or if I do that thing they've asked me to do, it'll happen more slowly. I probably won't get it completely right. I certainly won't value it. It probably won't be the level of workmanship that I aspire to, or that I can be particularly proud of. But I can still maybe achieve a few things, as long as I look after myself. So I just wanted to. I'm having more seizures as a result of all of the stress and the change of circumstances, and lockdown and then not lockdown, and the people I'm living with, experiencing stress and wondering, how much or how little to relate to people. Just like everybody else, I've been experiencing that, and it has been triggering more seizures in me, making me more confused. So regular videos hasn't really been a thing that's very positive for me, and I get frustrated because I will think, oh, that would be a perfect day to do a video, and I set everything up, and then maybe one more thing happens that I didn't expect, and I have a seizure, and I can't do it, and so then sometimes there's 2 weeks go by and before I'm in the right space again, and it can be quite frustrating. So I think it's really important, and I just wanted to check in with everyone and say hello and, be a mirror. I'm experiencing this stress, you're experiencing this stress. I think it's really important for us to be kind to ourselves and remember, that these are difficult times, these are the times that define us and all of that, that people say, but it's so true. And we will have learnt so much from this, but probably won't realise how much we've learnt until, the danger is past and we've had a few meals and a few sleeps, at least. So that's just me checking in, talking about stress, and if anyone hasn't seen my video about retreat, then please do look, because we're still going to be in a retreat during lockdown, and finding whatever it is that grounds you, and then revisiting it throughout the day, for example, is a really good way to keep yourself semi-stable whilst all of this turbulent stuff is going on around and inside us. So much love to you all. I hope you enjoyed the video, and again, apologies for not doing for such a long time, but we're all restricted at the moment. Yeah, take care, bye.